Hello! So I wanted to do a video about like limited time adventurers, or what people call like banner characters in Wizardry Daphne. Like, so at the jeweler, like pretty much any time, like there will always be like some kind of limited time characters offers. Like right now we got the Thunder Smiter, like, which is Gerard, like the unique remains of the Thunder Smiter, right? Like this is a reminiscence. It's he was from back last year and they brought him back. There's also Lanavel's alternate is also back. Like if you go down farther, we have reminiscence for the Wandering Prince Knight. That's the Lanavel alternate one. Like I said, that's here. There's also the Otherworldly Adventurers, Yarmus and Birkanon. So you have three different choices. Like, so right when you're a new player, like this might all seem overwhelming to you, but like the main way of like getting like pulls for your team, like you're trying to get like more characters for your team, like when you build a team, is to buy bones, right? You buy your bones and then you open them up, and then like all the bones you open up will end up here in your adventures log if you go like right. And a lot of people, like I said, they don't know like the best way to go about that or which bones buy, because you can also just buy regular bones. Like if you just go to rare here, like you can buy just normal adventurers remains as well, like that are not like part of like a promo. But generally, like, because there is these exchange shops though, generally it is more valuable to buy the ones in the promos, because you can get, like I said, because you get these currencies which can be then exchanged for like other adventures remains, or like said, or like if you get a bunch of them, you can actually guarantee another pull of the character you're trying to work on, right? But it takes 100 points per pull, but this is a guaranteed alternate Lanavel. Same thing, the other adventures, like if you are trying to get either Birkanon or Yarmus ones, you can get guaranteed pulls for 100 points each. Right, so like that's a strategy. The problem is though, getting 100 points is quite a lot. So you get 1 point per bone. If you look at the price for a bone, like I said, you can get 11 of them for 2,000 gems, right? Or if you want to spend money, you can buy, you can spend quite a bit of money on these. It gets expensive. 100 bones, like just buying 100 bones would cost you, would almost be $300. Like you could do 120 bones for $300, like if you're just buying them directly. Or it's like if you're like that, or you're trading 20,000 emeralds for like 110 bones. You could do it 11 at a time. Generally, you want to do 2,000 at a time. Like say if you just like said, that can get really expensive. And the problem is with this game, like right, you use the dupes to like do discipline on your characters. Like getting your characters to a high discipline is super important. So all the dupes you get, right, you want to go to, like, if you go to the training room, you need dupes to discipline them, right? And it takes so many, like the first couple discipline ranks are usually easy. Usually you need like, right, a one adventure or whatever, especially for like the legendaries, only one. Like the non-legendaries need a few more. But like, I have my olive for up to level 5 on the discipline, right? It's pretty easy on a normal adventure to get high discipline, right? But like if you're like on a limited time character, like Abenius, my discipline on her is only 2, right? I'm only discipline rank 2. I don't have any more dupes of her. She was limited time, right? I ended up getting 3 copies of her, is enough to summon her and then get discipline her to rank 2. I don't have any more Abeniuses, and I won't be able to get any more unless she comes back. She probably will eventually, but again, it'll be limited time. And if I want to get more, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of money on the bones. And yeah, like discipline is super important as you get later in the game. Like the enemies start hitting harder, and like the bonuses you get from it, like I said, it might not seem much, like because it's like, right, disciplining gets you a bit of extra HP. MP, SP, she gets a +4 MP, +4 SP. That's all from discipline. She also gets like, she probably, like I said, she probably has a few health from it, but you'll get a bit of health too. It's the health you get is probably about +10 or so. It depends on the class or whatever, but then you get like +2 to pretty much all these. Again, action speed's a bit lower, but you get, right, so these, so for every like discipline dupe, it's usually by the dupe and not like necessarily the rank. So the discipline rank 1, discipline rank 2 on a legendary is just 1 character, but then the third one is then 2 more. So if you make it a discipline rank 3, you're actually used 4 dupes, and that would be another +4. It'd be double these numbers, so you would have +8s on all of these instead of +4s. It might not seem like a lot, but they actually add up. Like, so like a normal legendary, it's actually a lot easier to get dupes on a normal legendary. So my Kathrine, for example, we are up to discipline rank 6. Let's just go to the training room here. It's like we are discipline rank 6. I actually just need one more to get to 7 because, you know, legendaries don't need as many per rank and they get better value for a discipline. But getting the normal legendaries, a lot easier than getting the limited time ones. But like, look at all these bonuses she gets. So we're up to, like I said, she gets 16 SP. Like I said, probably 16 MP too. Might be a bit higher. I think she actually gets it depends on everyone has a different thing here. Future Dream Dispel. Yeah, she gets more MP from discipline, extra MP from discipline. So she gets some extra MP. She gets some extra HP. And then, like I said, some of these might be from some of the like other like inherits we've done from like some of the adventure stuff. But like pretty much though, she gets plus 16 to like all these, plus 15 to XP, but plus 16 to pretty much all these others. And then the tech's a bit higher because she gets some from her normal skill, or I have Kashal's skill gives her a bit of extra detect, but you know, so it starts to become a really significant bonus. Like that much extra evasion, that much extra resistance, that much extra action speed becomes super critical to surviving in like the later parts of the game. Like if like, you know, if you're a newer player, like I said, right, the beginning Abyss is not too hard. Like that's why they call it the beginning Abyss. Is a great, like I said, great like introductory dungeon, gets you, you know, like learn the game stuff. Then you go to Trade Waterway, which is, you know, a bit tougher. It's actually not too bad, but you know, there are a few power checks there. But then you get to like the third dungeon, like the Guard of Fortress. That's like when you're like level 50 plus, and that one, like I said, the enemies there are pretty rough. And if your characters are really low discipline, they will struggle. Like I said, they will really start to struggle. So getting discipline, high discipline is actually kind of important. And getting the high discipline on like the limited time adventures is kind of hard without some good luck or without spending a lot of money on like the bones here. So it's kind of like, is it actually worth it, right? This is right, if you are not somebody spending money on the game, it's hard for me to ever really recommend that you invest in any of these non-standard characters, right? I mean, pretty much the only exception would be like like Lanavel. You might want to get exactly one copy of Lanavel so she can do her merge. Like she does have a merge, like I said, she has an alternate version that you can merge with. She actually is out on a dispatch, but let's see if we can actually look at her in the adventure thing here. Yeah, so she's dispatched, but she has an alternate version of her character rather than like the normal one. But if we go, like I said, we should have a normal one we can look at. Like, but she's like I said, she's one of the few. She's like one of two characters that has like a merge, and you do want to get one copy of the limited one so you can merge for like the extra stats. Yeah. So you have a regular one, and then you have like the alternate one. But you want to get, you do like I said, that's so you do want to get at least one copy of her. So if you're like have terrible luck with the bone rolls or whatever, like it might be a bit rough. But I think there is a pity mechanic. So if you don't get in the first 100, you are guaranteed to get one, I believe. I believe that's how it works. I've never got a pity one myself, but I think it's 100. But if not, though, like you can get one at a guaranteed 100. But again, 100, like that is 20,000. That's 20,000 gems to get there. Like about 20,000. I guess you could do it for. Well, I guess you could do it a bit less than that. Be like 18,000 if you. Because you can do 99 for 18,000, then you can buy a single bone to make it 100. Right? You could buy this 9 times. That's 18,000. Buy this once to make it 100. So you could do 18,200 to get 100 points. Kind of pricey. But yeah, like so pretty much there's two strategies here. You can either wait until there is a character you really want. Like I said, you want, like if you're trying to spend especially if you aren't spending a lot of money on this game, or you aren't spending any money on this game, getting Gems of Org are going to be really hard. So it's like you either have to like, you know, save up to like 30,000 or something, and like, or whatever, 36,000 I guess would be enough to get like 2 times bones of a single one, right? And you're hoping to get like a bit luckier, and you're hoping you'll end up with like at least enough, like 5 copies will get you to discipline rank 3, right? You're hoping to get like at least 5 copies of them, if that, but that much. That's spending it all in one, with like 36,000 jewels, right? And that might not be a bad way if you really want to use one of the limited time characters, but I actually kind of like increasing the opinion. Someone who's played, I'm at the late game. I've been playing this game since November. I'm kind of opinion that the limited time characters probably aren't worth using. I've been using Abenius. She's kind of starting to fall behind Olive here. Olive, right? She's not a legendary, but I'm able to get her disciplines, and she's my best fighter, right? Because she's discipline rank 5 and starting to leave behind Abenius. Like, she has all these extra pluses here. She doesn't get as much for a discipline, but she does, like I said, but she has better discipline than Abenius, so she has more bonuses, despite, like I said, despite being non-legendary. And it's just, like I said, I can still get all of Bones. Abenius Bones I cannot get until she comes back, and like, who knows when that will be. I mean, it might, like, she'll probably come back eventually, but will it be the last time? Next time she comes back will be the final time. So getting her to, like, a max discipline, like, I'm getting her to, like, 6+, like a Kathrine, like, that's, you know, that's going to be really hard without, like, spending a lot of money. And, when you do, especially, but considering you have the main legendaries, though, the main 6, it's easier to get bones from it. And what I think is the strategy I recommend for a lot of budget players, the strategy I've actually been using. Like, if you go look at my exchanges here, if we go look right here, so, right, let's go look at the, this one here. You see this Legendary Adventures Remains is sold out, because I made sure I got to, like, 60 points, bought that. Same thing with this one here. I got the Legendary Adventures Remains, and bought the bone. Like I said, I just go, that's pretty much as far as I go with most of these. I just said, you know, you get that Legendary Adventures Remains. And to do that, like, so this is how I got Ekaterina to discipline rank 6, because I keep buying these Legendary Adventures Remains from these events. Instead of trying for the new characters, I just try to get more Legendary Bones for my characters I'm currently using, or I get, like, maybe I get 9% and I use him for inheriting on him. But you know, the Legendary Adventure Remains has a 1 in 6 chance of getting me another Ekaterina, so I always try for that. So, right, so getting 60 points, you would buy this one 5 times. That's 55 bones for 10,000 jewels, and you could buy 5 more for 1,000. So that's 11,000 gem of org to try to get you a guaranteed legendary. Plus, you'd have chances of getting the other ones just from your normal pulls from these. And I do think that is the best way to do, especially if you're like a budget player, because it's just right. Like, it's so hard to get good value out of the limited time characters like themselves, because you will never, unless you have, like, insane luck, you're never going to be able to get these characters to a high discipline rank without, like, really spending money. I mean, this really are, like, all these banner characters really are just there for you to spend money, and it's hard to recommend that, especially when you have the normal legendaries, like, who are also great, like Ekaterina, Alice, Lanavel, Deborah, Gerwolf, and Adam. Like I said, you have those 6, which are, you know, a lot of ways the best legendaries. I mean, Alice and Ekaterina, I mean, are probably the best 2 characters in the game. Like, you don't really need the other legendaries. Like I said, Yarmis, like, you know, it's like trying to get a bunch of bones for Yarmis or Birkanon that you may never see, a character you may never see again. It's just, like I said, it's hard for me to recommend that, when you could just, like I said, you know, try to get more bones for the characters, like, you know, you're always going to be able to get more bones for, and you're going to eventually be able to get to a high discipline. Like, you know, you'll always have a chance at getting more Ekaterinas. You don't know when you'll be able you don't know if or when you'll have another chance at getting another Yarmis. So I do think, you know, for, like, a budget player or for somebody who doesn't want to spend a lot of money, I do think mostly just using the limited time adventure, like level banners, as an opportunity to try to get bone, like I said, try to get those Legendary Adventure main bones, like I said. Maybe buy the cheap purple bone for $1.59 or whatever if you see it, if you don't mind spending a little money, or maybe even the discount one like this. But you know, spending, like, the hundreds of dollars it would take to get those to a high rank, it's hard for me to justify that. But yeah, not too much more to say on this one. But if you do want to know more about, like, some of these, like, the most recent character, though, like, they did just bring back Gerard. There's also, like, a Light Shot Codex event. Like I said, I'll have a video about that, and you can find it down below. As always, thank you for watching.